if I introduce you, is saying, where does the name awesome come from?
Oh, let me explain. So, walking to the gym every day for 3 hours, I was talking highly of myself. But after my suspension, I couldn't box for a year, and during my year off, I was depressed. I was drinking a lot. I was eating crappy food, and when it was time for me to return to boxing, I had to lose my weight, and I couldn't get myself to lose the weight. And I'd work out for a few days, John, and I would fall off, and I'd work out for a few days, and I'd fall off. And then one day, and I don't know how often you do this, but I was really giving it to myself. I was like, you fat loser, you piece of shit. Like I was, and in that moment, I had a thought. I was like, oh, there's a difference between me in 2012 and me that was walking to the gym in high school. One of us liked me. And this is where I found the importance of your internal dialogue and the idea of self belief. One of the number one comments, because ESPN did an article on it, and one of the number one comments was, I bet he's humble now. I bet he's humble now. Because I wasn't humble. I was cocky. I believed in myself. And then I looked up the definition of humility. John, have you ever done this?
No.
The definition is having or showing a low or modest estimate of one's own importance. A second definition is to lower someone in dignity or respect. The truth is, the Latin root word for humble or humility is humilis, which means lowly. John, you can't tell someone to reach for the stars if you're telling them they have to remain lowly.
Yeah.
And I saw a problem with this. I was like, oh, I need to believe in myself because self-belief is the fuel for our machine, which we call our human body. And I said, you know what? Screw this. I'll never be humble again. I went out and I legally changed my last name to Awesome as a reminder to believe in myself.
Right.
That's why I did it. I don't believe in being humble. I think it's a hurtful virtue. If you're of a religious background, sure, you can believe that if you'd like in a religious aspect, but in a literal aspect of everyday life, I don't believe humility is a positive virtue.